was so nice of Pixar and John Denver to get together and throw that together for us. I really appreciate that.
Wow.
Welcome to the debut episode of This Week in Twitter, and look for our single on iTunes, where we'll be making that. Definitely going to be a hot download this week. My name is Lon Harris. I will be the sort of host of the show, producer of the show, creator of the show. You know, I try to keep it modest. With me, Natasha Westcoat. She will be here to do analysis. You know her on Twitter as @Natasha. How many followers do you have at this point?
I have about 7,000 right now. Not a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I have 2,500 followers. That's good. You're more than double. So there you go. And yes, as the chat room noticed, I have bedhead today, which is, you're going to have to get used to that if you're going to watch this show. That's just the way it's going to go. We have Mike Bracco here. He works for Mahalo. He's going to be our news director here on the show.
Excited.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Bracco, Bracco
work
on
work
Twitter.
That in, work that
Gotta
in
work
early
it in.
and often.
Early and
often. And with us today, our very first, very special guest. I don't know. Should I do the intro? I had a whole intro, but now you're just sitting here. It seems weird.
Ta-da!
Do you want me to do the intro? Would that make you feel awkward?
No, you can do it. I'll be busy on Twitter.
We'll do the intro. She'll be occupied. So my first guest joined Twitter in November of 2008. Within 7 months, she had over 1 million followers. We'll have to talk to you about how you did that.
Okay.
Among the destinations she's reported on to her army of fans, an ice hotel in Reykjavik, going on safari in South Africa, experiencing zero gravity alongside astronaut Buzz Aldrin. Now considered one of the internet's leading travel experts, she runs her own travel site, Adventuregirl.com. She makes frequent TV appearances, and she recently published the first book in an upcoming series, Adventure Girl's Guide to Adventure Travel Without Breaking a Nail. Constant problem for me. Please welcome Stephanie Michaels, better known as @AdventureGirl.
Thank you guys.
For joining us very much.
Well, I want to clarify something. Everyone, I know it says that I started in November of 2008, but it wasn't until March 2009 that I actually got Adventure Girl, my little chubby hands here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the squatter had it.
Oh, man, my research.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I'm going to fire that entire team of 20
actually, your
interns.
research is right. It was set up then. It just wasn't live for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you had to, somebody else had it and you had to go get it.
I had to go get it. Yeah.
How did you go about that?
Breaking some knees.
Yeah.
Breaking some knees.
Force. Use of force. Good to know. So, I guess we'll just jump in, right?
Yeah.
We'll do the interview. We have some discussion questions. We can get to that next.
Okay.
Twitter has kind of a chicken and egg thing going on. Like, once you become an expert, people want to follow you because they want to know everything you're tweeting. But in order to become an expert, you sort of have to have some followers and have some cred out there. So, walk us through what you did to sort of get around this problem.
Oh, God. Wow, you just hit it fast. Okay, well, so
First one out of the gate.
I really was known in the travel industry for a long time as a journalist and wrote for magazines and appeared on shows across the nation. And so I already had kind of a big fan base out there as well from Adventuregirl.com. And then, of course, every publicist under the sun that has to do anything with travel, like a celebrity would have a publicist, well, so does a hotel. So they hire PR firms. So every PR person and everybody I thought would be interested in me joining Twitter to talk about their products or what they've got going on as far as specials and that stuff, I notified. And so I think within about 3 weeks I had 175,000 people hop on.
Oh, wow.
And basically my email box was crazy. I mean, they were sending me specials and updates and releases and new hotel openings, and I was like, enough, I can only do so much.
So you sort of went about it the opposite way. I think most people feel like I have to build up an audience and then all of these sort of companies or PR people will want to talk to me because I have all this army of followers. But you sort of went, let me get the good stuff first so I have value to provide, and then people will sort of naturally come.
Yeah, well, I think Twitter's like anything else. It's about content and pushing content and moving content. It's conversational, but it's also being informative. So it's not just like, I had my coffee today. I mean, there's so much more to do with it. Obviously we all know that now. But so, yeah, I basically reached out to all my network and said, hey, here's another way that I can spread your message. You can use me as a platform to talk about the things you've got going on. So boom, it happened. And then, obviously I was one of the first travel people, I think I was on, besides JetBlue, based off some of the stats, like at WeFollow and stuff like that, I was #1 for a long time, and then JetBlue came and off I went. But I think as soon as a lot of people kind of started saying, well, what is this Twitter thing? And then, the Ashton Oprah thing, that pushed into the light. And then a lot of other companies said, wow, let's utilize it this way. So I kind of had to step back and reformulate what Twitter was for me. So it wasn't just talking travel anymore. It was people interested in my life's adventures and where I lived and what I did and where was I going. And so I've kind of taken a step back from just really tweeting about just travel, and kind of letting people know me, the person. So as well as talking about homelessness and children that have facial deformities or animal rescue. I kind of use my Twitter account now as a base to help other people.
So does it ever make you feel self-conscious having all these people follow you? Like, do you find yourself maybe holding back? Like, you have an opinion about something and you're about to tweet it and you're like, I may not want to broadcast that to an audience of 1.6 million.
Hands down. You have to be careful. I mean, you have to realize that once it's out there, it's like in a fight when you say something mean to someone, it's out there. It'll never be taken back. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's an imprint, and you no drunk tweeting, I definitely share, and I'm very open, but I do have that private side of me that I really want to keep private. So, I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
I have a lot less people follow me, and I still do. I will tweet stuff, and then 10 minutes later I'll be like, oh, that was me.
But even if you delete it, it still stays in the feeds.
The whole deletion concept on Twitter is kind of silly because it's out to so many other services. I mean, my Facebook pulls it in, even if deleted off of Twitter, it's still there, and that's just one example of all the different. So
absolutely,
yeah. Once it's out there, once you've made fun of someone you later realize is blind, it is out there.
And actually, that happened to me. I learned pretty early on when JetBlue got on, and one of my fans had tweeted something about, let's get them or something, they're on your tail or something about that, being competitive. And so I retweeted that, like, for fun, and I get this direct message from JetBlue saying, oh, that's just unfair, and that's nastiness, and I'm like, wait, I was just retweeting something, I'm so sorry, it's in good fun, and this is just Twitter, and so you do have to really watch what you say, and you just have to be prepared to kind of either defend yourself or stand up for what you did.
Yeah. So, You're sort of almost an ambassador at this point of Twitter. You've been on TV a lot, sort of talking about it. I saw a thing on YouTube yesterday when I was looking you up, where you were on E! with MC Hammer, telling people about Twitter.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. It was at TwitterCon, which was my very first conference talking about it, and I was really intimidated by him because he's really. People don't know this, but he's a total techno nerd, and he actually said to the audience, "If you don't know what Ajax is, then go home." So he really has made a name for himself within the technology business. So I heard something like he's got something like an in-house Twitter where like companies, it's almost like a new instant messaging, but it's via like an in-house type of Twitter business.
Wow.
It's not Twitter, you're not on their feed, you're on your own with internal feeds.
Oh, wow.
So I think he developed that, and he's doing really well with that. I mean, he's just brilliant. People think of him as this rapper.
With the huge pants.
Yeah, but I did do...
the shiny pants.
Those long, crotchy pant things, right?
Well, probably the only tech expert who has those like glittery...
Yeah, can't touch this. And of course they brought him out with that song, and I'm like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah,
really. At least move into Too Legit to Quit at this point. I mean, please. At the very least.
Oh my gosh. But I was the kind of social media travel expert for that morning show on E! That unfortunately is now canceled.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's what you may have seen.
That's probably what I saw. But so do you find it difficult to sort of sum up the Twitter experience for a mainstream audience when you're explaining it to people who are not, like, who don't know what Ajax is? And like, how do you sort of, because it seems like one of those things that makes sense when you do it. I sort of used it for about 2 days and then was like, oh, this is fun, I get it.
Well, I put people into two categories, which I probably shouldn't, but just based off my kind of research and when I talk to people, they're either Facebookers or Twitterers. It's really rare that you find one or the other. I mean, both together, and when you do, it's like they've kind of probably just taken a little bit more time on Twitter than just got on for a couple days and said, that's it. I don't get it. And, so, Facebook, and I've always said this is more deep engagement, it's more insular, it's more of those kind of people that are searching for college sweethearts and sharing pictures and doing that whole thing. So it's a more insular situation, and like I've said before, you have to sign on to the network. You have to become like a member of Facebook.
Right.
Or Twitter, you can just type in twitter.com/lawn, and you'll see your feed, and you'll see all your links, and you can click, and there's still pictures and video available.
Yeah.
It's just that it's more transparent. It's more open. So I always try and explain that to people, that that's the major, kind of differentiation between the two. and then I go into my, however, you can still use links by using bit.ly links and stuff. You can still move, deeper engagement content on there. So someone like, in fact, in the Vanity Fair piece, they're like, oh, they totally misquoted me and said, oh, I can't handle deep engagement. I'm like, really? Like, I have like 1,098 direct messages right now of people that I've reached out to.
And you can't handle it.
I can handle it. I can handle it. So it's really funny. It's just a different kind of engagement. And Twitter is about really, like, I always call it the, like, pen pal of now. It's like we used to write a letter and you send it out, and now you pen pal on this really cool site called Twitter, and everybody can find you and see what you're talking about. So, yeah.
Cool. Wow.
That was long-winded.
Very thorough. That was great. That was thorough. So we're talking a little bit about the Vanity Fair piece. A little background maybe for people who were not sort of familiar with it, did not read it.
This is the Vanity Fair.
Who is that guy on the cover? I swear, why isn't the media reporting more about this individual? He seems fascinating.
I know, isn't it interesting? But I have to say, though, that we I don't know what page this is, 70.
For those of you following along at home.
Here we go, 70.
Here's America's tweet hearts. Adorable.
Yeah, so tell us who was on this article with you and what you guys were expecting from this piece.
Okay, yeah, so basically what we thought we showed up for was, and what we were being interviewed about was about women in social media, women, doing the business of technology and how we incorporate it into our companies and our businesses, and about breaking glass ceilings, showing up on panels. I even invited the author to come with me to 140 Characters Conference at the Kodak Theater, which she couldn't go. She was on a deadline, so she couldn't make it. To have her embrace she wasn't really clear on what exactly it was, and so we wanted to embrace her and bring her in and get her tweeting. And so anyway, basically, she was at my house. She met my 7 animal rescues, and now I have 8. She was at they're meeting all 7 of them. She met my husband. She basically, was there in our lives. And then, the piece kind of came out in the Twitter world less than what I think all of our fans and our friends wanted to see. I think that they felt that it was a chance for Vanity Fair to gain followers and gain recognition in social media. And, Vanessa, decided, the author, to take liberties and, formulate the story the way she wanted to and the way she thought it should be, which is her right to do so, and Vanity Fair's right to, actually publish that.
Right.
So,
kind of an old media sort of philosophy of like, we're going to put this out there. It's a one-way street. We're going to sort of tell you what we think, and that's it. And online, when you publish stuff like this, you're just expecting feedback, and that people are going to, if you're sort of, I think it was a little condescending. So if you're condescending to people, or if you're being, a little inconsistent, people are going to call you on it right away if you're a blogger.
Yeah, what was great was because of that and the way Twitter works, people just went nuts on this thing. Twitter went crazy over this article, and people were like backlashing on Vanity Fair, pointing out the fallacies in the way they were like presenting you guys, who are like really hardcore, ambitious women doing amazing things. And I don't know if did they ever respond to that?
No, actually on Gawker, Gawker covered it because Twitterville was up in arms over it, and everybody came to our defense. And God, I think we really realized. I always knew it, but I think it was like hard fact that how much we love our fans and how much our fans love us and our friends out there in Twitter, and really they came to our side and basically were asking for open letters to the editor. Please rewrite this piece. Please, kind of trying to get them to rectify the situation, which I don't know if needed to be rectified in their world,
Right.
So basically, in Gawker, they actually asked Vanessa to defend herself and have a quote. And she said basically she did it to poke fun at Twitter because they had gotten an easy ride in the media, and she just wanted to kind of show a different side to it. And unfortunately, we were the victims of that. If we want to even call ourselves victims, I mean, I've heard everything from oh, your husband's keeping a good woman down because, I can't tweet at dinner, which it was just, everything was a joke and everything was fun with him. And, like things like we're wearing nothing underneath our trench coats. I mean, come on, you guys. I mean, there's not even cleavage showing and our arms are covered. And so what? There's legs. I mean, and it's February issue. Hello, rain, with the raincoats. I mean, just like people, and then the non-diversity of, these women. Well, these were the women that we all happened to know each other from conferences and sat on panels together. So it wasn't an intentional thing.
I've never met an ugly Twitterer. All the women on Twitter are hot. That was the issue there too. Like, oh, they're so hot. Everyone on Twitter's hot. I don't know.
Well, thank you.
Is everyone on Twitter hot? That sounds like that's gonna be a whole episode.
You're sexy too.
Yeah, exactly.
See? Lots of men, especially with the bed hair.
Every lady.
There we go.
Every lady on Twitter is hot.
So in all fairness, I mean, when at the end of the day, I'm really happy that we were in Twitter because I think any kind of exposure is really good for not only Twitter, for us, and we were honored to work with Michael Halsman, who is this amazing photographer. I mean, he's worked with Andy Warhol and the Rolling Stones. I mean, and here we got to shoot with him. And so, on that note, I mean, you take that little negative line, you put a positive on it, and next thing you know, it's just the way you look at things. So
what a great attitude.
I'm trying. No one's going to remember what it said. They're just going to remember we were in Vanity Fair.
I want to follow you now because of that. Like a ray of sunshine.
Thank you.
So let's go on to more fun, interesting stuff. Let's talk a little about travel. So like what? How does covering travel and covering trips that you're on Twitter differ from, say, doing it like on a blog or in a longer, like a magazine piece? How does that immediacy sort of
it just feels like you've got your best friends with you right on the side of you, right? Like where you can turn to them and say, hey, did you just see that dolphin in the water? Wow, or whatever. But it's virtual. Right. So I'm tweeting like, oh my God, I just saw a dolphin, and then everybody comes back, wow, what did it look like, or did it jump, or
Did it look like a dolphin?
No, but it just is there a spinner dolphin?
This one was red. It was amazing. I should have seen it.
You have no idea the responses. No, but so it is like a conversation. I mean, it is a conversation. So you do feel like you've got these buddies with you, and you get to share it. I mean, it'd be really lonely and really boring if I didn't have it and I couldn't communicate. Right. So I talk with my hands. I'm Italian, so just so you know.
Sorry, we got plenty of room around. It's a huge table, as you can see. We've got a massive, long Viking type table.
Everybody.
Here. So, but is it ever distracting when you're on a trip and you're enjoying yourself and you're in the moment, and then you think, oh, I better take a photo of this and tweet it?
Well, it's either that or I do this. Hold on, it's either that or I'm this.
You're actually filming. Me
Hold on. I'm trying to get it to go. There we go.
But see, if we were on a trip right now, we were like, the pyramids are right behind me, and we want to go like ride a camel around them. I've never been there.
So I'd be doing this right now, or hold on.
And it doesn't, like the documenting doesn't take away from the just experience, or it enhances it. I mean,
I don't know. I'm like my grandmother. She was one of those people that just had a camera up for everything. Oh, look at the cake. Oh, look at the magazine. Let's take a picture of everything. So.
I mean, I recognize I'm saying this as we are being streamed live on the internet, so it's very hypocritical. But I thought I'd ask anyway.
I think to me, part of being in that moment is capturing it. I don't know. I'm a reporter. That's my trade. I'm a reporter. So it is about getting everything documented on film and sharing and telling the story. So
it's almost like it would lose something if you weren't able to kind of communicate it while you're doing it.
Yeah, and I have a really bad memory, so I'd be going like, wait, what did I see? Like, what was that? What day was that? When did I see it?
I've never even been there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the geolocation stuff, Foursquare, Goal, it seems almost like you were kind of a little ahead of the curve there on that, because you were broadcasting where you were on Twitter for years before that sort of even existed. Any interest in that? Do you like Foursquare? Do you like Goal? Any of those like?
I do. Bright Kite's gone, isn't it?
Bright Kite, it was the sort of early grandfather of all this stuff.
I have Foursquare, but unfortunately I have a BlackBerry, and it doesn't really work on that. Right now it's very difficult to kind of use the app.
Yes, Foursquare on BlackBerry.
It's just really hard. It's awful. Really awful. And so it's not that I'm not using it, but I had a stalker in Switzerland when I was on a press trip there, and I was tweeting, and so I would get these tweets saying, "Oh, I'm there. Where can I find you?" And so early on, I kind of figured out that, and that was this past summer. I better delay the information by a little bit, or say I just left a certain
I know
location.
people Foursquare like as they're leaving instead of Foursquaring when they get there.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
their friends are gonna come over or notice that they're Foursquaring somewhere. They just
Yeah, and I'm sure he probably meant no harm, and he just wanted to come and meet me. But you just can't. You don't know. You know? So it's
right.
kind of you're just like, oh, that's really nice, and I'm not there anymore. You know? So I think as really cool as that can be, I think you have to be really careful. I mean, as a woman, and as Elon, you have to watch it.
I did once. I Foursquared where we were hanging out on my birthday, and I had somebody just come up from my network and just sort of introduce himself, and it was a little odd.
yeah.
Well, it's flattering because
Right.
you're like, oh, this person obviously cares enough about what I'm doing
Right.
to actually seek me out randomly,
And
and
say hi, yeah.
I certainly never do that for I don't even do that for good friends. I'd be like, lost this on, leave me alone. So that's a nice feeling, but at the same time, it's a little it's awkward when you're in normal social circumstances for someone you don't know to seek you out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and
it's-
typically I would like it in a public space where if it's at a conference or somewhere like that. But the traveling thing, or it's just a little unnerving. But you solve that. You just don't have people in your network that you don't know.
Right.
I mean, I've just kind of learned to just kind of take it that way.
Yeah, keep them going. The people in the chat room are asking if we are watching the chat room, and I want to let them know that I am.
I can't see
know.
it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You could go to thisweekintweeting.com if you're on your laptop and pull it up and take a
Okay.
look. They're talking about how they would like to see a ladies of Twitter calendar, because we were talking about all the women on Twitter
let's
are
just
hot.
perpetuate
And
this.
I think honestly, it's sort of a genius idea. I gotta say.
kind of cool. I think it would be cool.
Whoa, hey,
but
volume.
that's-
No, you're not. You're
I
not
think
in.
it's an awesome idea.
Would you be
I would
in
totally do
Would
it.
you both be in a lady?
Yeah.
That's 2 months right there. We
care.
only need 10 more weeks of show. we got a business.
We'd have to address diversity. I just have to say it was not intentional, so we would have to.
So there'd be a
yes.
hunks of Twitter calendar as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think let's take it as far as let's do a guy-girl calendar.
Tech,
totally
Tech
want
Frog
a
is in
guys
the
in
chat
Twitter
room
one.
right now.
Is
so
he?
That
Hi,
guy,
Jim.
January. Let's start off on the right foot.
Oh, that's great.
We'll move on a sec. I got a couple more questions for
Yeah.
you. Have you ever drunk tweeted? And if so, what was it?
Never drunk tweeted.
Never.
No, I'm really careful with that. I'm telling you, I've seen those sports guys going like
Yeah, it's not a great idea.
drunk tweeting. However,
Yes.
I was accused of drunk tweeting when I was in Hong Kong by my husband because we were in a taxi cab going 80 miles an hour on windy streets, and I'm trying to missing the. And he's like, "You were drunk. You were drinking and driving." I'm like, "I was not. I was in the back of this crazy cab ride."
Disoriented tweeting. It's almost the
So
same thing.
yeah, no.
What does it take for you to unfollow or block someone? Like, what would somebody do that you would just be like, that's it, I'm out?
Like just being
done.
nasty, just all around like nasty, or like F you, or I just you could say what you want to say and you can be totally open, negative, positive, but I just have that line. I don't know why. It's just you don't have to be nasty.
Fair enough. Last question.
Yes.
Are there any trips you've taken as Adventure Girl that in retrospect you wish you wouldn't have gone on?
No.
Never. Not once.
Never. No.
She's a real adventure girl.
That is really
Yeah.
never you went to Cincinnati and it was like, you know what, this may be not the greatest adventure.
I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was on a media tour, and I had to do 10 cities, 10 days. And so, on those tours, they put you in all these little affiliates, right? So here I am in Tulsa, Oklahoma at this little rent-a-car, and I had nothing to do. So, and there's not anything to really do in Tulsa either, so except this little river walk. And so I got my little GPS system out, and I found this river walk place, and I just went and had Mexican food up at a bar area, and sat and talked to people, and it was an adventure.
That does sound. I've been to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I did not have an adventure there.
Okay,
Unless
see?
speeding by it at 100 miles an hour counts.
Seriously, so I think I can find adventure anywhere and make it interesting, and it's really about the people too. It's not necessarily just about the place. It's really about kind of meeting people.
It better be
and
in
stuff.
Tulsa. It's not going to be about the place. It's so small. That was what shocked me about Tulsa when I drove by. You hear it and you think big city,
Right.
And then you drive by it. It's a hamlet. I mean, it is not
pretty
even.
small.
I don't even know if I would go town I would go Hamlet.
It's a little spread out, but I mean, the people couldn't have been more nice. I mean, they're just such sweet people there. So hi, Tulsa people.
Hello, Tulsa. We love you.
We love you, Tulsa.
We love your river walk.
The river walk was
we're
so
very
fun.
impressed.
And there was this like total indie band that showed up and played, this local indie band, and everyone. I just felt like I was kind of part of the community, and that's really.
Yeah, every band in Tulsa is an indie band. There's no record
I know. Are
companies
there
out there.
famous bands from Tulsa? Do we have one? Anyone?
There's gotta
I
be.
don't know. I
gotta be,
follow
like-
a lot of music.
Yeah, there's got to be
Yeah.
one
There's gotta be
famous.
someone.
There might be. I
Famous
mean, I
band
think
in
of
Tulsa.
what's that band that's from a weird place like that?
Wow.
No.
They always have the masks on and the really hardcore metal.
Slipknot?
Slipknot.
There you
yes. Slipknot's.
Oh, we have to say hi to Dave Peck. Hi, Dave Peck.
Hey, Dave Peck.
Who's the brunette? She's cute. Well, go fish 432.
Brunette.
That's Aunt Natasha.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh,
I know
and
what I'm doing.
Hammy,
for the show.
Hammy. How's it going? Yeah.
Tech Frog wants me to ask you about retweet, as in retreat. Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Dave. We are not talking about that yet. But
Oh,
maybe
that
we'll,
was Tech Frog. That was Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Jim.
We'll talk about that with a reveal. We'll do a big reveal, right, Tosh?
Yeah. If I can be a part of it.
Was just that our first This Week in Twitter exclusive just now? Did we just get breaking
Had a
news?
jingle.
That's very exciting.
I don't know anything.
Like driving through
I
Tulsa.
Don't know.
It's like driving. It's good. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt. That's going to be our first catchphrase. It's like driving through Tulsa. So I came up with some. I got a game. I made up a game.
Yes.
So we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. It is called Name That Hashtag. It works exactly like Name That Tune. We'll go around. You pick how many tweets it's going to take you to figure out what the hashtag was on all of these tweets.
Oh,
Does that
seriously?
make sense? Oh, we got an animation. Yes.
Oh,
We
my
have
God.
an animation. Yes.
Wait, so these are past hashtags.
These are hashtags. It's from this past week. All of these tweets
Oh.
are from this past
Oh.
week. I have up to 10 per hashtag. So you'll tell me, and whoever thinks they can name the hashtag in the smallest amount of tweets. So, you know, the example would be, I would say, like, I'll give you a hint. I would say, I could name this hashtag in 5 tweets. And then Mike would say, I could do it in 3. And then if nobody else wants to go lower, Mike gives it a try. And then we go.
Is it time for this right now?
Is it time for the booze? You guys nervous? Well, we'll start off with an easy one. We'll see how it goes. Because
Okay.
I've never done this before.
All right.
All right, so here's the easy one. The hint is, it gets a little repetitive. Hint,
Follow Friday.
it gets a little repetitive.
Oops, sorry,
It is
Mike.
not Follow Friday, but thank you.
Really?
Thank
oh,
you.
oh, wait, I can name this in one. No, I'm kidding.
Anybody?
I blank.
So 10
No.
tweets.
Should take me 10, yeah.
Mike, you want to try for
Let's
less than
say-
10?
5.
5 tweets.
Okay.
Stephanie, do you think you could get it in less
4
than 5?
tweets.
What if I do get in less than 10? How about 2? I'll go 2 tweets.
2 tweets.
Yeah.
2 tweets? I think 2 tweets.
Yeah,
I think we should
pretty
let her.
good.
Okay. Tweet number 1. It's from @Paperell. She says, I agree, it's a really ridiculous tradition, but seems to be ingrained in American culture.
Holiday?
Well, you got one more. The next one, @20odd-years, tweets, I'll give you a winter prediction. It's going to be cold, it's going to be gray, and it's going to last you for the rest of your life. Those
These
are your
are
2
really
tweets.
interesting. What? So from this week.
These are both from this week. The first, I agree, it's a really ridiculous tradition, but seems to be
Oh,
ingrained
Groundhog Day.
Very good. In only 2. In only 2.
That was good.
Well
Should have
done.
known that off the spot because I was complaining myself.
I was thinking Super Bowl. So
That's a great
They got it in the chat room. They got it in the chat room. Okay, we got 2 more. This next one, the hint is the origin of this term is controversial. Controversial origin for the term that is the hashtag.
I bet I know what it is.
How many tweets?
It'll take me, I'll go 2.
2 again. You want to try for 1? Well, the hashtag itself, the origin of the hashtag itself, controversial.
the origin. I'm gonna go with 1.
1 tweet. Can't beat that. Here we go. HTGB girl tweets, if it ain't dry, you need not apply. Too many people overwater their plants.
Wait, you're giving me this? Oh God!
That's
Why did I say
1 tweet. You said 1 tweet.
Oh
I didn't get it.
Oh, God. You know, I'm going to pass.
Can't do it.
I know, I can't do that.
You said 2. Here's your
Yeah.
second one. At CJ3 writes, headed to Stone Mountain, exclamation point.
What the F?
So your 2 are, if it ain't dry, you need not apply. Too many people overwater their plants. And headed to Stone Mountain. And she doesn't have a laptop, so guess if you're in the chat room. Feel free to throw out your guesses.
Wow.
Stonehenge. I don't know.
Not
Spring.
Stonehenge. Mike?
I got
Something
nothing. What's it?
Seriously,
You don't
these are
even
good.
go.
He's
What's
writing
the-
us
Do you have
stuff.
any other tweet? Is there another tweet?
Yeah, we got up to 10, so
All
we'll
right, let's do
keep
another
going
one.
until we'll see when you
Okay.
get it. Well, and everybody.
Okay, somebody direct message me the answer.
Really? Did they get it?
Say,
I'm
what did it say?
tweeting.
What did they say?
I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm asking someone. Like,
All right, well, we'll
come
go on.
guys.
If you think you know it, shout it out. Number 3, NetGuru Inc. says,
Yeah.
there is no more powerful antidote to the chaos of the world than the cultivation of a quiet mind.
Where are you getting
Even in the
these
chat
things?
room?
Who is
These
doing
are all
this?
on
This is-
Twitter. They had the same hashtag. Maybe this one will get it. Number 4, Freedom Rally writes, Willie Nelson tour bus busted in North Carolina.
Is this
Oh.
Woodstock?
Oh, wait.
Is this Woodstock?
Not Woodstock.
Oh,
Is this
what's his name?
retro tweets
It's
or
this week,
something?
right? Was
These
it?
are all from this
Wait,
week.
wait.
yeah.
Okay, so was it the
Burning
guy?
Man? No.
Who was the
Not
guy
Burning
that was
Man.
the rock star
Oh!
that got busted for
I,
heroin?
think-
Oh.
I totally understand now what it is.
What's his name? Oh, Garrett.
But that was the origin. Leaf Garrett is who you're thinking of, but that's
Yes,
not
oh,
what it is.
all
All right,
right.
I'll give you the last one. I think you guys will get it after this last one.
Maybe not.
This is number 10. So this was supposed to be
Okay,
the giveaway
okay.
one. At Honey Sky tweeted, weed.
Yeah, marijuana.
420,
marijuana.
everybody.
Oh, 420.
Hashtag
Right.
420. That's the controversial one. Are we bored with this? Do you want to
No,
try one more?
I mean,
One
well,
more, here we go.
let's ask these guys. Are you guys bored with it? Like,
Yeah,
you
that's the
keep
chat. I
playing,
know
like-
Earth Explorer is bored with it, so I thought I'd suggest, unless he just actually fell asleep on the camera and landed on the Z key, which could happen. I mean, let's be honest. Circus Boy says one more.
Okay.
All right.
I think it's going well.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
This
all right.
one
Dude.
I will accept because the hashtag itself is a little long, so I will accept if you get pretty close.
Oh, wait. Let's say hi to Calvin at Mayhem Studios and Henny at Henart Online.
Hi, guys.
Hello, and they've been
Hi.
Henny has been tweeting the show for the past couple days.
She's so
which
awesome.
I appreciate.
We love
So
you,
thank
Hen. We're thinking
Thank
of
you
you
for
too,
that.
and so
I appreciate that. All right, one more. The hint is this would be a cousin of the "That's So Ghetto" meme that, of course, is hugely popular on Twitter.
Okay.
This is sort of
no,
the kissing,
yeah,
kissing
yeah,
cousin
yeah,
of that
yeah,
meme.
yeah.
Anyone want to start off? How many?
I'm gonna go with 3.
3.
I'm gonna be.
Think you can be
2.
3? Mike wants to go 2.
I need more than that, like 5, because there's like a few of them out there.
All right, 2 it is. Number 1, you still wearing FUBU? That's at Shirley Sample. Wrote that. Number 2, you tape 4 eye touches together and call it an iPad. That's at Star 105XL.
What was the cousin? What was the hint
Number
you gave at
1.
the beginning?
Oh, the hint is this is sort of a cousin of That's So Ghetto, which is probably the number 1 hashtag of this year so far, I would guess. It's up there every day. So this one is sort of like that. Number 1, you still wearing FUBU. Number 2, you tape 4 eye touches together and call it an iPad.
I'm clueless.
I don't know. I think I'm lost.
I'm kind of looking. Is it now playing?
It's not, and a good guess though, because that's been trending all week. But
Yeah,
it is not,
yeah,
It is not
Sometimes
now playing.
I don't watch trending topics.
Oh no, I really don't either.
You know,
so
this
I'm
is
like
the
on it
only
right now.
one out of these 3 that was like a long trending topic. I was trying to make. I guess I was.
So the only I
Full
pay
confession to the
attention
audience,
is
I made this a
retro
little too
tweets.
difficult. If we do it again,
Oh
we'll
no,
make
it makes
easier.
this like look
I'm
so
totally
bad.
watching the trends now.
What's the
I-
trend?
I'm like
All right.
I'm typing in ghetto, and I'm going to try and find
Number
an
3,
association, and I'm not finding it.
We'll go number 3 because
Okay.
Natasha wanted a third one. Mr. Alan Jr. wrote, "Y'all pull up to the drive-thru after the club, and everybody looking at the menu trying to order, but you quiet as hell."
That should be a one long
That is my
hashtag.
favorite tweet.
It was a great tweet.
That's
said
a
it
good
perfectly.
one. I
It's
love
a good.
it.
It's a good tweet.
I don't
That's
know. I
awesome.
still don't know.
No one.
That's great.
No?
Chat room.
Yeah.
It's not. I wish yo ass would. Domain.
Yeah.
Good guess. I don't think anybody wishes yo ass was still wearing FUBU.
Oh, that's
I don't think so.
Funny.
Oh my god.
Want to do a couple more? See if you guys will
Let's
get it.
do
Or?
one more, maybe.
Oh no! Well, I mean,
don't know.
I got some more tweets here.
Okay.
You spend Saturday night sniffing glue and seeing how fast you can read Samuel Beckett's "Ping" out loud. You put Kool-Aid in the ice cube trays and stick toothpicks in them and tell your kids you bought popsicles.
I'm trying to cheat here.
You ain't even embarrassed to pick up another dude money in the club who just made it rain.
You know you broke and win.
Yeah, you know you broke when.
Yeah.
You know you broke when. Congratulations. Well done. That was the hard one. That was
I
the
cheated.
That was the max.
Okay, how I
difficulty
found
one.
it was I did a search for ping out loud because I just see.
That kind of ingenuity is
That's the
encouraged.
reporter in me. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
suddenly have a new fondness for hashtags.
yeah.
So I abuse them in my own way.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
I make mine up.
right. That doesn't work for the game because there's only one.
Yeah.
I tried. See, I really tried to make it like I thought it was too easy, and now I realize I was making it extremely hard. So next week we'll go
but
a
if
little
we could
easier.
research it, maybe it could be like the person who can research and get the information fastest.
Oh, there you go.
I think you just invented the first geek game.
Yeah, it's
Modern
actually
geek
kind of
game.
cool.
Well, there's
right?
a lot of there's a
Yeah.
couple other like Twitter games that people do. I want to do something different. I know Kevin Pollak does. I think it's Miley, Demi, and one other. You have to pick who tweeted something.
Oh, that's pretty
It's
funny.
all
That's
celebrities.
awesome.
Yeah. So I
That's
want to come up with
awesome.
my own. You know,
Oh,
try to be original.
so fun.
So one thing I did want to discuss before we get to the news and then close the show out was lost spoilers on Twitter. I wanted to open this up to the group.
Oh,
It
yes.
drives me crazy because we're in California and I am 3 hours behind.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating to me
Yes.
that I have to log off of Twitter for like the whole night. Because starting as soon as the first people, like the tip of Maine, when they get to start seeing Lost, they immediately take to Twitter, just start
Yeah.
talking about exactly
Yeah.
what's happening on the show.
The reactions may be general, but you still get this. You know, you don't want to know what you're supposed to feel at the end either. I don't want to know if I'm supposed to be upset or more confused.
Yes, right.
Or
That's
really happy.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
No, please.
That's a good point. That people, it's not always like, oh my God, I can't believe Saeed did blank.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm so
then you're
devastated right now.
expecting it when
and
you're
you know,
watching.
yeah, Dexter. That was actually a problem with Dexter too.
Yes.
That after
Yeah.
the finale, people were tweeting like, I'm so shocked. I can't believe this happened. It's like I don't want to know
You
that
know
right
what
at
I
the end
love
something shocking happens.
about this last season, because everyone understood how important it was not to know the end. No one said anything on Twitter.
Really?
No one has said anything
But
on
they were
Twitter.
still.
And
That's the
I
point.
was really big of them
They
not
didn't
saying
spoil exactly what happened, but they said like.
They started like, this is the most screwed up ending of
Right.
the
I
entire
can't believe they did
series
that.
ever.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the ending though.
I love it too. Well, I think we all do.
No, it was-
It's all
it was
devastating
brilliant, yeah.
and gratifying.
And
Right.
yeah,
It
I'm
was-
just so glad they got rid of her. I'm sorry.
Oh.
the character.
There's a dog.
sorry.
Wait,
No,
is there a dog?
it's not a spoil. That's the general rule about spoilers.
No, this was from Dexter.
There's no
okay, let me
spoilers
just
if
clarify.
it's been more than a week. If you're a fan,
All
you
right,
should have seen it.
All right. If
It's
it's a couple months later, you don't have the right to complain.
it's all over BitTorrent by now. You've got no excuse.
I'm 5 seasons behind Lost, so I don't even know what they're spoiling.
Yeah, that's true. Lost spoilers don't even make sense if you're not caught up.
Yeah, I tried to watch the season premiere, and I had no
it's like,
idea.
I can't believe the monster's in the foot. And they're like, what? That doesn't make any sense at
there's
all.
3 different worlds or something. I don't know.
Oh, Jeff Rago. Hi, Jeff. And David Beza.
Yeah,
hey,
they're pointing out
Dave.
that when you live in London, I guess it's even worse because you get your shows like a couple months behind. It
Oh,
could
yeah.
be. So then you're
yeah.
you're just done. There's nothing you can do. That anyway, I feel like people out of respect should do the Dexter thing and just refrain.
We were not Circus Boy. Me and Brent did not say anything about Dexter. I'm telling you. No.
Giving too much away on Twitter. I just don't understand what's the maybe you could answer this. What's the point of just revealing things? It's not analysis, it's not commentary.
Well, like we all Stephanie was saying, you want to kind of like feel like you're watching the show with someone else.
Yeah.
So your response, you want to hear the response, you want to share your response. Maybe we should be like using DM, but sometimes you just want to
or
like, oh my
gather
God,
the
right.
tribe.
Or some sort of filtering. I see somebody in the chat room mention this. If only Twitter could invent some sort of filter, like I would write in like if it's hashtag lost, I don't want to see it. And like pull it from my feed.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I have something, you guys, I wanted to share, and I actually showed Tosh yesterday. Dave Malby, at Dave Malby, has this little check mark next to his name. And so I was emailing him or direct messaging him saying, Dave, what's that check mark? You know, kind of curiosity. And what it is if you're a Skype, it's for Skype. And so if he's a Skype person and you're in his Skype like book, you know, your address book,
Right.
you can click on this little X, okay, and it says, look, check it out. It says start call, start chat, send file, send voicemail.
So this is on his profile?
yeah,
really?
check it out. I don't know if
The
you guys can
web-based
see it.
profile.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Isn't
yeah.
that cool?
Is that just on his?
Well, it's.
I wish I could bring it up on my.
I don't know,
I
I
can't log
can't-
in as you.
I
But,
Is that a plug-in, or how's he?
I don't know. Dave
Oh, it
Malby.
appears Lon can't see it.
well, here I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
because you might not be in his
yeah,
network.
I'm gonna follow him right now.
I think you have to be a Skype. It's Skype to Skype.
Oh, okay.
And then it
Oh,
shows
so
up.
I can't pull it up on my laptop. You
But
guys,
what's
I'm
crazy
sorry.
is that you can see it, from Twitter.
Yeah. I'll
So
be
there's
trying
some
my
kind of
interstate
something.
friends.
We need to find out what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
kind of
I know.
reminds me of there's a Power Twitter. If you've seen that,
No.
it's a Firefox plugin, so it shows all media sort of in line, so you don't have to click through videos or click through different
Okay,
stuff. But it
okay,
kind of
so
reminds me.
similar.
Mark said they Twitter launched hover cards this week.
Yeah, hover
Right.
cards.
It's so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do
I don't
know
have
what
it
this
yet.
is?
though.
Now I have to look this up.
Mike, is the hover cards in
Hover
the
card
news?
is part of the news this week.
You could not have a better segue than that. I think we have to go into the news right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
wait, do we have a? Yes. This is why I wanted to show. I was like, let's do a podcast. I want at least 5 funny animations. Go. I don't even care about the show itself. I just want to think. Okay, so hover cards. Tell us.
So hover cards are something that Twitter launched this week. They're rolling it out sort of gradually to different users. Basically, it provides additional contextual information just by hovering over that user on Twitter, showing you their bio, their link, their follow count, stuff like that. So my question is, do you think that things like this, and I know me personally, I've used the web interface more and more because they're introducing all these features and using some of the Twitter clients less. Do you find that's what you do, or do you think it's a threat to some of the companies that have made clients based on Twitter, now that Twitter's
third-party
introducing
apps?
all these features?
I mean, I definitely do think it's a threat to a lot of the third-party apps. And I mean, Jason, our boss, Jason Calacanis, has discussed this a lot on This Week in Startups, his show. And I sort of have been drawn over to his side of the argument, which is basically, eventually Twitter will introduce its own third-party app that'll be on your phone. It'll be,
Right.
won't
I
be
mean, they
third-party,
got
but-
their own conference finally, their own developers conference.
Right.
it looks like.
They're just biding their time. They will eventually catch up to what companies like Seismic and TweetDeck are doing and Hootsuite, and they will sort of take over that functionality themselves. And then you'll have to just all those third-party apps will have to then up their game again and come up with the next iteration of things Twitter's not thinking of. So it'll always be sort of a back and forth like that. Personally, I don't really use the Twitter interface on Twitter.com all that much. I have Twirl here, and I have
Yeah, I use TweetDeck.
I have
Tweety.
TweetDeck and Echo Phone on my phone, which is really quick and kind of nice. And so yeah, I don't really. This probably will not impact me that much
Right.
because I'm not often on Twitter.com, except right now when I'm doing the show.
And
but,
I am. I only use Twitter.com.
So you only
Really?
use Twitter.com?
Yeah, well,
there's some
because
people
the third parties, they slow me down. I'm quicker on Twitter.com now. However, I would like to be able, if Twitter's listening, to be able, a Seismic or a Hootsuite or whatever, to be able to allocate different columns to the people that I'm following for this or following for that. I mean, I think that's pretty unique and impressive. So. You can't do that right now on Twitter, so maybe that'll be. But like Tasha and I were talking about this, about the chirp, the whole thing that they're going to be doing with third-party apps and bringing everybody on board and doing this conference, and why they would do that now and not before. And I was saying it's almost like a store, licensing your product. So the more people who license your product, the more people who know about you. So I think it was really smart of Twitter to actually, get in bed with these companies that are doing third-party apps for them, because it just expanded their world and expanded, people knowing about them through these third-party desktops. So, apps. I'm sorry, not desktops, apps.
But
yeah,
they lose out on all that traffic though to their actual domain, because people are just like, I can keep Twirl open on my desk all day.
Right.
Just hit refresh on that. I never need to go anywhere else. I don't
Right.
need to visit a URL.
right.
It seems like they're leaving a lot of traffic risk on the table.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, for now, I think that's the idea. The idea is the reach is worth it. Just introducing
I think the
millions of people.
exposure of
Right,
it
that
is much more important.
eventually, maybe they'll get to a place where it's like, okay, now everybody's heard of us. We want to actually.
Yeah, and maybe that's what the whole chirp timing thing is right now. I mean, who hasn't? I was like the Google search, and there it says follow us on Twitter. It's like right there on their Google search bar. So when Google gets on board, and everybody and their mother has a Twitter account for every kind of business.
Oh,
and,
my mother doesn't get a Twitter account.
No.
She's on Facebook. That's enough.
oh wait, who's the one that's the 109 or 107-year-old lady in the UK? And she tweets.
Oh, the
Really?
oldest. Yeah, I thought so. There was a scam.
Someone said it was a
What did she
scam.
have to tweet? My hip hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like having tea with the ladies.
Yeah.
I'm going now doing
many
my
times
accounting.
can you tweet that?
Fascinated. I'm fascinated for someone who isn't around older people that much. I'm fascinated to see how they think because they're like us. They're just 100 years old. I want to know what they're doing.
As far as the way you interact with technology, though, I mean, my grandparents, like, every time you introduce a new piece of technology, there's, like, a couple months for them to just wrap their brain around what it's about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even tried to broach, like, Twitter. I mean, they still don't really understand the difference between, like, their browser, Google, and the internet.
Oh
It's
my
like
God,
all...
my grandma, she's like 70-something. She's ahead of my mom.
Really?
Oh,
She
that's
watches
impressive.
my videos, my blog. She knows exactly what's going on. And she even follows my Twitter. My mom has, I love you, Mom. But she don't get, it's like, what is that? Why do I have to go here?
Yeah, what does that mean?
She can't, it's like my grandma's just nuts on this stuff.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
had-
my grandmother still didn't get the answering machine. She would stop talk like she was leaving. Instead of leaving a message, she'd be talking and she'd go, "Hello, hello." Like she never got it.
Well, it's funny because someone in the chat can probably point out the name. I forget the company, but there was a company actually providing a service where you can fax a note to tweet, and they tweet it for you and then fax you your @
So
replies.
sort of like,
Oh,
let me
what?
Twitter
Yeah,
that for you,
totally.
basically.
It was some ridiculous service that came out. I forget.
That is
love that.
crazy.
Someone will point it out, but
Tweet phone?
Tweet
Tweet
phone is being
phone?
suggested. I'm just going to let them know, like, this is the hashtag.
Let's see.
Tweet, yeah, I guess so. That's what, yeah, that would be, like, anything I want my grandparents to do online, I have to just write them, like, long, detailed messages. Like, go here, type this exact thing in, hit enter. So, I mean, Twitter, I think, would be like, just sort of the next level
Right.
of
Yeah.
possible.
We have to do that for
get across.
Twittoer Says or Twittoer. Yeah, he's our peer. We still can't get it.
Twitterer?
Husband.
My husband, the Twittoer.
He's Twittoer on Twitter.
If you go to Twittoer Says, it's all these like things like
Overheards.
like don't you hashtag everything because he never like everything's wrong.
Next
funny.
story.
Next
Let's do. We got time
Sorry.
for like one more story before our hours. No,
Okay.
no, banter.
No, this is
it's,
cool.
it's a banter kind of show.
So a new report was released this week that basically stated that teens are not tweeting.
Dang,
73
we're missing out on all that wisdom. So to say.
So the report indicated it was a study by Pew Internet found that teens, 73% are active on social networks, avid as they describe themselves, but only 8% use Twitter. So why do you think that is, and do you think that's cause for concern for Twitter?
I think it's. I mean, I'm tempted to say text messaging, that they already sort of are used
Right.
to constantly talking to one another and their friends all day, and that the sort of the networking, like that level of networking yourself among a large group of people, doesn't really occur to you when you're a teenager.
Right,
Like,
I don't think they're thinking about people across the U.S. or across
Yeah.
the world talking to them.
they're not interested, right, in building
They're
that
more
kind of a
local
global
focused.
community. They're not probably, self-marketing or doing anything like that where they want to get more attention to what they're working on or some project. Because I mean, they're teenagers.
Right.
But as they jump off Facebook, which I hear they're like leaving by droves because there's too many of the parents on there,
Right.
and they're looking for other alternatives. Twitter might just be that. And also when they start paying their texting phone bills.
Yes.
Right.
Plus, no Farmville on Twitter.
I mean,
come
there's
on.
nothing. There's no
Can't
cost
play
to it.
fashionista.
So exactly. So maybe that's when they'll they'll kind of digress into that
Right.
Twitter mode.
And I do think eventually, as it gets bigger and bigger, they'll get pulled in sort of soon enough. But yeah, I mean, I would feel like text messaging is the teenager version of Twitter, where it's just you want to send whatever, like sexy things or naked photos of yourself. You don't want to do it on Twitter,
Right.
Unless you're asking
That
pretend to be more.
16-year-old who
You want to
wants
send it just to your
that
friends.
inappropriate
Yeah.
photo.
Exactly.
Just can't do it on
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's something. I really don't know how concerned Twitter is about like demographic stuff like that. I think at this point it's probably still just a numbers game. Like the more people, the more attention they can get, the better. And later they'll worry about if large sectors of the population are kind of left out in the cold.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, like in news reports, when there is something that happens, really Twitter, we're all kind of the first to know on Twitter. So that always hits the news anyway, that Twitter got to it first. And
Yeah.
so they're, even from a news standpoint,
Definitely.
we're pushing the content faster than the traditional news people can do it. So.
Right, yeah, which is also something teenagers don't give a
Who's watching the news, right?
Right, yeah. It's like plane crashed in the Hudson
What?
Bay. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Twitter's still great for relevant content and fascinating people. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we should start a campaign of going to high schools.
I'm perfectly happy not having
I
teenagers
know.
on
But
Twitter.
the beauty is you can
It's
follow
totally
or
fine
unfollow.
with me.
So
The trends are already worse enough. We don't want.
I know,
I
a lot of
know,
people were
right?
afraid to get on Twitter. I was talking to a guy last night, and he's a film director, and he's just, after Oprah, like everyone says, after Oprah and Ashton, they're turned off by the population. I think we need to explain to them that's not an issue, really.
Right, and I think too that it's not even just like it's that, but it's also. I talked to somebody saying, "Oh yeah, after I heard about that, I don't want to hear who's drinking coffee where." I said, "No, it's not. That's not what it's about."
Yeah.
Like, so I think there's a misconception about really what's being put out there on the feeds, and if they're following someone, is that all they're going to see? You know?
Right. I think
So-
that's sort of natural that the lowest common denominator becomes associated with the technology. Like everybody is just like, "Oh, I'm eating a peanut butter sandwich." Nom nom. And like that's all that's going on. You
Although
know? And it's
hashtag
like,
nom nom is actually.
oh, don't ruin my next week.
I'm
Reminds
sorry.
me of the biggest pet peeve hashtag, fail. I'm so done with fail.
Yeah, I think fail is a
Abused.
little. It's just it's overused.
I love fail.
Although I have to say, I love
It's
seeing
still
the
funny,
fail whale.
but-
Sorry, Twitter. I do, because I do miss it. I think it's really cute. But also, I always kind of smile a little bit to myself because I'm thinking that's a lot of people using the service that it crashes it, and that's a good thing. It's not a good thing that it necessarily crashes it. However, if there's so many people use, that's like
Yeah.
that's that negative positive.
Right.
I'm telling you, go there,
Again.
Pollyanna.
It's the secret. It's power of positive thinking.
Right. So. Anyway.
Yeah. You got one more story?
So one
for
more.
us? We
So
got 5
obviously-
minutes.
So this
Oh, but
Sunday.
before we go, on the topic of fail, I couldn't agree more. I don't think it's a problem with the term fail itself. I think it's that
Who's using it?
people substitute it for actual insight.
Like, oh, my car broke down. Fail. Really? Did your car fail? It's just broke. Just say broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag broke.
I mean,
Or like something even minor that could not even remotely be construed as a fail. Like, oh, the line for this movie's
Yeah.
taken like 20 minutes. Fail.
Fail.
It's like, you still get to
Oh
see it.
God.
Calm down.
my coffee is pink. Fail.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Although we were watching Chuck the other night, and I loved that T-shirt, "Frack Off."
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome, so good. Sorry, not to be off topic or anything like that.
I will accept more than that. Okay,
All right,
next story. I didn't
so
mean to
this
take
Sunday
something.
is the Super Bowl.
No.
Go Saints, by the way.
Yay.
So the NFL is running has a website which is www.nfl.com/superbowl/44/fans, and if you tag your tweet SB44, the hashtag pound SB44, they're basically compiling an aggregation of rich media photos from Flickr, from Twitter, sort of in an interactive visual way. Do you think stuff like that has value, or do you think it's sort of gimmicky, sort of using, playing off the popularities of Twitter? And
it seems a little gimmicky to me. I gotta
But if you're a
say.
sports fan,
If you're a sports fan, yeah, I mean,
there you go.
I feel like the coolest stuff that happens around events is organic. Like when people started live tweeting award shows, and it's great, and it's better than watching
I love
the
watching
show.
the Oscars with Twitter.
Right,
I love
Oscars and like the Grammys is super boring,
that was-
but when you follow it with like a
With
bunch
Twitter,
of comedians
it's
on
great.
Twitter,
Hilarious.
So entertaining.
it's really fun, and
Yeah.
actually you sort of trying to join in yourself, and like that makes it better. And so I feel like I like stuff like that when it's more sort of top-down
Right.
marketing to you, like do this, and it usually doesn't sort of come together as well. Although I don't know.
And someone will
I'll give
come
it a
up with
try.
their own hashtags. Anyways, it's just they'll just bypass that whole
Yes, I
corporate
feel like
environment
hashtag
anyway.
Super Bowl is going to be a lot more commonly used.
Yeah.
Right.
SB44 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
So.
I think
Oh.
it's time.
It's about time. I
Okay,
agree.
guys.
We have, because it's a debut. And
We have to
wrapped the
christen.
debut.
I'm not going to spray it. I just was thinking about I would.
Do you want me to capture for you on your
It's
click camera?
11:58 right now.
Oh.
Capture the moment for you.
So
Oh
proud
yeah,
of us.
hold on a
There you
second.
go.
Hold on, let me turn this on. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm not putting
I
this
know.
on film. What happened?
Only the 100
Here, I'll
people
film
who are
for
in
you.
the Ustream audience would be able to see
Okay,
this.
it's on. All right,
Okay.
so here you go. This is Kristen the
This
show
is-
line.
Yes. Can we
Woo!
break it on the camera?
Oh no!
Fail!
Should I be like? No, I'm kidding.
There's a lot of equipment in here. I could get in trouble.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
It was a pleasure.
First show. It's success. Cheers to
I think so.
a lifelong of success. I can't even talk. I haven't been drinking really.
Just open it. We have evidence on camera that it was just open.
So this is for you.
Yay.
Oh, well, thank you. We'll get some cups. And thank you to all of our viewers. I guess this wraps up the show. We're going to do this every week, every Friday at 11. We're lining up some more cool guests. Anything else to say before we send it off?
Send in your tips, suggestions, ideas, thoughts.
Yes.
We're on Twitter at this week in
so many.
TWITT.
Fail.
We're on Facebook. We have a fan page. Check it out. Get on there and share it with your friends. We'll have some fun stuff going on.
Your
All
eyes
right.
are so blue under these lights, by the way. Look at that.
They burn buildings.
I can't think of a better way to go out than Natasha's bright,
blue eyes.
dangerous blue eyes.
Yes.
All right, we will see you guys next week
See ya.
on This Week in Twitter.
Thank you.
Yay!
Bye, guys.